Hey everyone, welcome to This Is Me by Abhi. If you're coming from my first video, then you know that I'm suffering from ankylosing spondylitis. And the reason I decided to start this channel is to share my story and hopefully to connect with others who are suffering with the same condition. So in this video, I want to share when I first started feeling symptoms and how long it took for me to get diagnosed with ankylosing spondylitis. So to start, how about my first winter? I came to Canada in 2016 when I was 20 years old to study. It was a different experience altogether. I was traveling to this unknown place, just taking a leap of faith in this new country, away from everything I knew back home. But I was met with new faces, different accents, and especially a whole new language because I landed in Montreal, where French is la langue officielle. However, I'm glad that I came to this beautiful city. I really do cherish each and every day here. Over time, I've fallen in love with different cultures, the ambiance, the nightlife, and especially the food scene of the city. Mwah. C'est la vie à Montréal. That's life in Montreal. But that being said, my first summer in Canada was great. But somewhere around fall, I began to experience these pains in my body. At first, I was like, okay. Probably these are just random pains coming from muscle being pulled, wrongfully stretching, or something like that. So I just ignored it. And I continued to do so until winter came. I'm not gonna lie, it was a pretty difficult season for my body. For the first time in my life, I was experiencing these random pains in my neck, my shoulder, my buttocks, my thighs. I was even having a hard time walking and sleeping. I was not able to understand that why I was experiencing all these pains and why out of nowhere it was hurting like a bitch. So then I decided it was best not to keep ignoring my pains, and I went to a walk-in clinic in hopes that a doctor could give me an answer of why I was experiencing all these symptoms. When I went to a walk-in clinic, the doctor told me not to worry as it was just a normal muscle pain. He told me just to be more active and prescribed me a Tylenol. I asked him again if he was sure it was nothing but just a normal muscle pain because the pain I was experiencing was sudden and was not related to what I did. He assures me not to worry and that Tylenol would help. At that time, I had no idea what Tylenol was. I thought that he had genuinely prescribed me something that would specifically heal the symptoms I was experiencing. Once I got to the pharmacy, I learned that Tylenol is the most basic medicine out there used to treat generic symptoms, you name it, runny nose, sinus, fever. So obviously, Tylenol was not going to cut it. And most importantly, because I'm from India, my body is just used to stronger dosage in medicines. India uses a strong medication as compared to Canada, and I guess my body is just used to that. So really, there was no way that Tylenol was going to help. I then went to an ER where I had to wait, I want to say, 24 hours before someone could have a look at me. After explaining them my situation, they told me that they were too busy to do a checkup and probably it was just a normal muscle inflammation that would rather go away on its own. At this point, it was my very first time dealing with Canadian healthcare system, and I really didn't know where to go from there. Then I went to see my family doctor, who then recommended me to an osteopath. After having a few conversations with the specialist, we came to know that probably we are dealing with a way more complicated disease. My family doctor then sent me to a specialist that dealt with cases of ankylosing spondylitis, and it was there I finally got my answer of what I was feeling. Getting diagnosed was a big turning point in my life. So the specialist had seen my blood work ahead of time and was certain that I had AS. She told me that I was HLA-B27 positive. This meant that I had higher than average risk of certain autoimmune diseases such as ankylosing spondylitis. Although the direct cause of AS is not exactly known, but there is a strong link with the specific gene that was found in my blood and AS. So it took me around 2 years to get my diagnosis. Although I felt relieved to finally know what was wrong with my body and why I was experiencing all these pains, I felt uneasy. I didn't know where to go from there and how this was going to affect my day-to-day activities. I had come to Canada to complete my studies and experience a whole different world. But it's the cold Canadian winter that emphasized the pain I felt but overlooked. So that's it for me guys today. I hope to see you all in my next video, where I will share how my life changed post-diagnosis and what are the treatment options available for someone who is going through AS. So just before going, I want to share something with you all. A long time ago, somebody told me this. Remember, you are not half of anything. You are twice of everything.